Next week marks 6 months since Bryan Kohberger pleaded guilty to murdering 4 students at the University of Idaho. And neither he nor his horrific crime has faded much into the background since. In part, that's because of the crime itself and the mystery, but also because stuff just keeps coming up. The latest stuff is a lawsuit filed just days ago by the families of the 4 young victims against Washington State University. That's where Kohberger was working towards a PhD in criminology, no less, and where his abbreviated stay gave rise to reports of very bad behavior. And not just a little, a lot. Stalking, harassment, and predatory behavior. And folks, I know you've already heard that, but we're learning way more than we knew. The families of the King Road victims accused the university of failing to act multiple times, and quite possibly failing to prevent the murders of their 4 kids. They hope to ensure that no future Bryan Kohbergers can slip through the cracks, and that's another reason that this case was never old news on this show. The more momentous the case, the more we can learn and the more we can apply to future cases. And I don't mean me, I mean the police and the prosecutors. Take the murders of Spencer and Monique Tepe, for instance. One of the patterns in their home invasion murder seems to be quite similar. Joining me now with their thoughts are 3 more of the best friends of the show. Mr. Brian Entin, NewsNation senior national correspondent and crack reporter on all things true crime. Jennifer Coffindaffer, former FBI special agent and the one who breaks more news as a guest than anyone I know. And Mark Eiglarsh, defense attorney and former prosecutor who has the biggest martini glass I have ever seen in my life. And he has shown up with it on this program before. Thank you to all 3 of you for being here. Okay, Brian, I start with you, my friend. You were on the ground right since day 1 on the Idaho murder case. I wondered what this case taught you about modern crimes and modern investigations.
Yeah, it taught me to be patient, Ashleigh. Remember, for so long we thought police had not a lot of information in Idaho. And then when the probable cause finally came out, we realized that behind the scenes, they were doing a ton of work, whether it was, the DNA technology or the surveillance, stuff that we just didn't know about that they were being tight-lipped about. So it taught me to be patient and just kind of wait, not always assume that they just don't know anything. But what I really want to say, Ashleigh, on your last show is just how much you mean to me. I'm just changing the subject a little because it's kind of my moment to tell you, and how you have just mentored me and been my friend. And there's just so many egos in this business, and you're literally the total opposite. You taught me how to anchor. I filled and anchored for the first time on your show. You spent 2 hours on the phone with me, giving me all your secrets, what to highlight, the different colors, what names to circle on the script. I mean, you made me so much better. And I'm just so glad you're my friend, and I love you so much.
Well, back at you, Brian Entin. I calls him as I sees him. I recognized in you incredible talent the moment I first saw you on the air, and I have enjoyed every single moment, not just on NewsNation, but on the podcast as well. Drop Dead Serious, and I hope you're going to be a regular guest of mine as we go forward on it, too.
Oh, for sure. I can't wait. I watch your podcast every day. I love it.
Oh, well, right back at you. I saw yours today, which is why we're doing the segment tonight. Jennifer, off to you at this point with the law enforcement angle about what we learned from the Kohberger case, because I feel after 38 years in the business that we learned something new from every single case that we can apply as we go forward.
Yeah, absolutely, Ashleigh. This case was a landmark case for DNA. No longer would genetic genealogy just be used to solve cold cases and to help exonerate individuals. This was real-time use of IgG in the throes of an investigation to find a killer on the loose. And so from now on, you can see IgG used on cases ongoing, not just cases that have been put on the back shelf.
All right, Mark Eiglarsh, I think a lot of us just drew in a deep breath when we heard there was a deal in the Idaho case, that they were going to give him a deal, avoid the death penalty, and go away forever without the possibility of parole. But it made me wonder what you think about how airtight a case has to be now in order for prosecutors to decide to go through all the way to the end, no matter how many decades it takes to, bring that death penalty into fruition.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a slam dunk case. People who say that have never been in the courtroom and really don't know what it's like to lose some or win some, that you thought the opposite would occur. But what I get from this case is that the families deserved better. They found out from the prosecution through emails or letters that the prosecution unilaterally decided not to seek the death penalty. Putting aside that decision for a second, they deserve more transparency, more communication, more respect. They should have been told way before they found out and give them time to understand what was happening. I feel like they disrespected them.
Well, and everybody who just wanted to know, how can we recognize such a bad member of the flock if they seem so normal in their PhD students? So I agree with you in that respect. Bryan, I watched your podcast today. It was amazing. You read 125 pages of a lawsuit, and you picked out so much information about Bryan Kohberger I had never heard before. Can you just do a quick summary for our audience about what the four families of the victims are saying? They're angry with Washington State University about having not acted on when he was a student there.
Yeah, I mean, so it's 125 pages. All four families have signed on to this lawsuit, and it tells the story of what Washington State University knew before the murders. All of the warning signs they had that this guy was just a total creep and a stalker and dangerous. More than a dozen students, faculty, professors had all come forward with complaints about Bryan Kohberger, saying that he was creepy. They had women who were students that had to be walked to their cars because they were so scared of Bryan Kohberger. People who were scared to go into certain offices. A different student who thought that Bryan Kohberger came to her house and was creeping in her windows. The complaints stacked up. And based on the lawsuit, the university really didn't do anything about it. They have a threat assessment program, a program that they apparently didn't even follow. And that's what's got the family so upset, Ashleigh.
When you were reading it, and I recommend everybody check out Bryan's podcast tonight, because when you were reading it, I started to realize how many more cases there were of complaints. And how detailed they were that I had not heard before. I thought I knew it all, but it was very, very informative, your podcast. Thank you for that, Bryan. Jen, I keep looking at what we're learning in the McKee case. It's very early yet, but I hearken back to the Kohberger case because of the pattern of a home invasion, middle of the night, just a horrifying killing of innocent victims. And I just want you to compare and contrast what they might take, the investigators in Columbus, Ohio, what they might take from the Idaho case.
Well, certainly from the Idaho case, I think the McKee case matches up in terms of that video footage. I already talked about the IGG, but they could not have made this case in large part without all that video footage of Bryan Kohberger's vehicle. And video footage made the McKee case, and there's going to be so much more information that comes out with that video footage. And so I think that's a real key here, to utilize the lessons learned in Idaho on McKee as they move forward through this prosecution.
Mark Eiglarsh, I want to just get you to weigh in on the other side of the lawsuit, because I just mentioned how much information and what a pile-on it is of the number of people at Washington State University who complained and had terrible stories about Bryan Kohberger, and yet nothing really happened. Then again, let's say WashU fired him. Would that have prevented the murder? So just take me from there to the WashU debate that we are undoubtedly going to hear soon.
Yeah, these cases are not easy to win, right? Creepy looks, should have, could have, would it have prevented it? But if you've got 13 different complaints and it's really troubling, don't rule out a settlement here, because they're going to be very concerned. Ashleigh, I don't want you to go without me saying goodbye. I think you're awesome. You keep me past my bedtime. I'm willing to come onto your show for that reason and that reason only. And I think the world of you. I met you during the Casey Anthony trial, and you were wonderful then, and you're still the same person today. Thank you. I'm really grateful.
I can't thank you enough for how much incredible wisdom you have brought to every one of my broadcasts. Every time I call you, text you, ask for advice, you've been so magnanimous and generous in so many ways, and I just want to thank you as well. And, you know, Jennifer Coffindaffer, same thing. I learned so much from you. You're just dogged. You're amazing at the things you find out. You looked at Bryan Kohberger's Strava when nobody else did and got that information. And Bryan, you know, I have this crazy love affair with you and your career and just how magical you've been as a coworker. To all three of you, thank you so much for being on the segment and the last show. I appreciate it.
Ashleigh, thank you so much.
Take care, Ash. Be well.
Thanks, Ash.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.